Good evening, everyone. For some of you, it's good morning. For some of you, it might be good afternoon. Although I personally struggle with the time zones, one of my favorite parts of the CommonTime platform and hosting our weekly events like this is how much engagement we get, from people all around the globe. And at the end of the day, we all know that the arts, whether it's music, drama, dance, or visual arts, they're all truly universal languages. But with a platform like Common Time, we actually get to see that in action. So, good evening, good morning, good night, good afternoon, good greetings, salutations, hello, welcome. My name is Michael Skillern, and I am the Education and Outreach Coordinator here with Common Time Online. And this is the newest installment of our weekly webinar series called Wisdom Wednesdays with your host, Michael. Maybe there's some talk show dreams in my future, but for today, we'll just host this Wisdom Wednesday webinar. Thanks for everyone that's joined so far. And for those of you that are unable to join, we will be reposting this webinar on our blog and YouTube channels and then distributing it out to you all as always. We're a little backed up on distributing the service learning webinar from last week for our educators, but that's coming shortly, I promise. But today, our topic is the arts organization. What are arts organizations? How do they fit into the Common Time ecosystem? And what's that vital connection between arts organizations and education in schools, individuals, things of that nature? So let's get started. First things first, for all you new people, Common Time is an all-inclusive arts platform that has a goal of empowering artists, engaging learners, and expanding arts outreach for our arts organizations through live, engaging virtual sessions. And for our arts organizations who are focusing on today, also the ability to access some of their premium pre-recorded content. Our goal and our mission is twofold. We also serve to connect artists, connect educators, connect individuals, and connect these arts organizations through our purpose-built arts platform, which we're looking at right now. Common Time Online still is the only video conferencing platform that is specifically made for the arts. We don't have all those preset audio features like some other platforms. We are a purpose-built network connecting those artists, those individuals, those educators, and those arts organizations for a more communal, more inclusive, more democratized arts experience for all of our stakeholders. And today, we're going to be talking about the arts organization. So what exactly is an arts organization? Your local symphony orchestra is an arts organization. Your local theater is an arts organization. There's another organization that we've been speaking to recently called Keys to Success, which is a keyboard, piano-based arts organization out in Newark, New Jersey, that aims at putting keyboards and keyboard skills in the hands of some of the area's most underprivileged students who lack access to something as enriching, as enlightening as learning to play the piano, which so many of us have probably taken for granted, all those piano lessons we took back in the day. Even though we may not have wanted to be there at that time, there are millions and millions of students around the world and thousands and hundreds in the Newark area who are getting that crucial access. Access is something that is behind our mission here with Common Time. So long story short, we've got a built-in video conferencing system. Using that video conferencing system, individuals and educators can host live virtual sessions with the artists on our roster. We have about 50 or trending towards 50 verified artists. We've got another 20, 30 in the tank that are still going through our verification process. And the educators, individuals, and arts organizations can scan our roster, find an artist like myself, for example, that fits their needs, and then get me into their classrooms, their community centers, their schools, their homes to provide some of that access to the arts that may be missing whether it's missing because of time, whether it's missing because of access to people, whether it's missing because of your location. CommonTime is aimed at solving all of that. So we talked about what an arts organization is, and we will talk about what arts organizations can do on the CommonTime platform. So with us, if you are a member arts organization, we allow you to do two things. Number one is to host live events. Some people use this as an accompaniment to their in-person events. So for example, if you are having a musical performance and you are some type of theater or drama organization, you can become a member arts organization with CommonTime. You can then host your live content on our platform, and we would then handle your scheduling, handle your ticketing. We will also be able to promote this event, and we have a built-in roster of potential attendees for you, whether that be our large and growing network of educators who use the platform. We single-handedly could put your digital programming into the classrooms around the world. We could also put your digital programming into homes around the world. And we will also give access to your digital programming to artists around the world. So if you are like me, then you would agree that that is super duper exciting. So what I want to do now is do a quick screen share to show you a little bit about what the platform looks like and talk about some of the relationships that we have with some arts organizations. So right now you should be looking at my screen. This is the home page. We've got our ticker bar here, which is talking about our interview with counselor Laura Manley. We have a super engaging series that we do through our YouTube and our blog called CommonTime One-on-One, where we sit down with different stakeholders that are tangent to arts and arts education, whether they be counseling and wellness experts like Laura, or whether they're educators like Lars Jefferson, or whether they're arts entrepreneurs that work at some of the arts organizations that we're talking to today. We sit down with those people just to pick their brains and see what's going on in their world and share that out with you. Of course, we've got the Artists, Arts Org, Membership, Blog, and About tabs here. I'm going to click on the Arts Organizations tab. Currently, we're partnered with 3 very reputable arts organizations. The one we're going to focus on the most today is this Domenico Savino Music Association, and talk a little bit about what they do and what we've been able to accomplish with them. So the Domenico Savino Arts Organization operates out of Italy, and they do 2 big things that we were able to partner with them. Number one, they have a summer music festival that boasts virtual and in-person master classes on voice, clarinet, violin, cello, piano. I think year to year, some of their offerings change. And they also are partnering with the Toronto Opera Festival that meets in Italy every summer, and they perform operas throughout the summer. We were able to work with them to do 2 things. Number one, we hosted their opera series live, and we expanded their outreach to include the world. And we gave educators, artists, and individuals from around the world the opportunity to have these live operas in their classrooms. Wow. For you choir directors out there, have your students ever actually seen a soprano sing an aria live, or have they just heard about it from you? And we know you're focusing on choir. You've got those performance evaluations. You've got Christmas concerts. But just think about that experience and the wonder and the inspiration that could cause. I know our CEO and founder, Christine, was recently speaking in one of our marketing meetings about when she actually saw her first opera, and through a few connections was actually able to meet some of the people involved with that opera, and how that sparked an interest in her early on at becoming an opera singer. And she was able to ride that all the way to the New York Philharmonic Chorus, where she played and sang while she was living in New York. And she talked about a Mahler 2 choir experience. And just when you think about those experiences that are so large, the lead up to that happened because of an experience that in the moment seemed so small, which was that she actually saw an opera. And they don't really play the Looney Tunes on cable anymore. So it's up to us to make sure that our students have experiences like that and see things they normally wouldn't see. Let's go back to the screen share. The second thing we were able to do with this organization, in addition to hosting their opera festival and master classes live on our website, and mind you, both of these types of events were ticketed, so we're able to accept payment and distribute that out to the arts organizations. CommonTime takes a flat 15%, a booking fee. We are also able to host the recorded versions of both Aida and Carmen from their opera festival, and then offer them at this rate of $5. And there's different packages you can buy. Let's look at this one for Carmen. Series details. So here, you're actually able to take and purchase this pre-recorded opera for different prices. Let's look at the details from Aida. There it is there as well, and you're able to log in and purchase these. Now, I am currently logged in as an artist, which is why we are not seeing the details. Maybe I can log in as an educator, and so that we can actually see the full effect here. Don't copy my passwords, ladies and gentlemen. Uh-oh, it's telling me that's not correct. So we may have to come back to that at a different time. Let's try this one. So, because I am logged in as an artist and not as an educator or individual, that is why I can't see the full effect here. But essentially, you find the opera like Carmen, you come in, and they have different packages available that allow you to witness some of these things. Let me quickly pull up my educator login information so that we can really see it. I'm going to take some time here because I think that it's super important to what we're trying to do here. Okay. Let's log out and then let's sign in from my educator profile. All right, now we're logged in. I'll update that password. We're going to click back to our Arts Organizations tab, come down to Domenico Savina. And let's look at the packages available for the pre-recorded Carmen opera. And yeah, here there's no packages. It's actually straightforward and simple. It's $5. You can watch at your leisure. You have unlimited viewings, unlimited start and stop. You click there and voila, it's added to your cart. I've already done this once, which is why it was there twice, but I'll remove one. You put in your payment details here and there you are. There you have it. Another feature that we offer arts organizations is the ability to connect directly with your user base. So people that are accessing your arts organization through our platform are able to chat with you directly here. I'll send them a nice hello message. They're able to chat with you directly there so that you can have some of that true personal engagement. And like I said, if you are interested in bringing experiences like this into your classrooms for you educators, the CommonTime platform gives you access to something you never would have seen before. Like, could you imagine that you could see a live performance of Aida straight from Italy, showing that to your fourth and fifth graders in a general music class, or showing that to your theater class, or showing that to your dance class if they talk about movement, or even some of the dancing scenes in Carmen, which was also available here. All of these things are possible by being a member arts organization on the CommonTime platform. Now, What I just described was the way that arts organizations can add to our platform. But now let me talk about some of the ways that we can add to arts organizations. So, as we mentioned earlier, we also have a roster of member artists that are available for sessions. And for some of our more community based arts organizations, like the Keys to Newark, or even in my hometown, the Youth Orchestra of Greater Columbus, for example, or even a for profit organization like the Columbus School of Music and Dance, which is also in my hometown. These member arts organizations have access to and special pricing to our roster of artists. The way that they can achieve that is here. We offer tiered membership packages for an institution, for example, $350 a year, and we help you with artist fees. We give you package deals. We make it as easy as possible for you to get our artists into your classrooms. There are logins for up to 20 members. And for example, if you are the Keys to Success piano-based arts organization out in Newark, you could host maybe one of our piano artists, like Jimmy Chang, who is the choir director for the Vienna Boys Choir and also an accomplished pianist. Or maybe you could have someone like Dane Yu, who is an accomplished pianist and harpsichord expert out of Germany. Those are just two examples of ways that that particular arts organization could use our service, bring in a piano expert, and then have that live virtual session with their students. When you schedule a session with one of our artists, you are given a private, secure link to that video session, and then you can distribute that to your clientele, to the people that are coming to you for this arts experience, and only they will be able to see it. Likewise, if you agree and consent to have the session recorded, only you and the artist would be able to view that, and the sharing of that from our part is forbidden by our privacy policy, which is airtight. That's another reason that this platform that we say is arts and education focused. One of the things that we do to further that goal is by having a privacy policy that protects all parties involved, to make sure that this content, your students' faces, your faces, are not being shared out at mass. We're not collecting your data. We're not mining you for any of that. We're here just to empower artists, engage learners, and expand arts outreach. So let's go through some of our artists that you could have come into your arts organization to provide a new, interesting experience for your attendees and the people that you use. We've got artists from around the country and around the world, and I just want to highlight a few of them. One of my personal friends is Jordan Manley from Atlanta, Georgia. He tours with the international artist Mattel, and he is an amazing drummer. You can see here, he's got some action shots. He's got a very short and to the point artist statement here. And he's an instrumentalist, music producer. He's very well versed at music technology, especially in the drums and rock and roll band, that band type setting. Not rock and roll as in genre, but just the idea of a band. He has a rock musician, music improvisation, and percussion. If you are looking for someone to come in and provide a valuable experience for the people who are benefiting from your arts organization, you could come to his profile, click on percussion, then see what he offers. He offers a free 10-minute meet and greet for you to meet with him and talk about what you want to do. He offers private lessons at the hour mark, and he also offers master classes up to 3 hours. And luckily for you, these master classes do not have to take place in one setting. When you purchase a master class for 3 hours, it gives you the opportunity to book 3 separate hours. So you could book 12 to 3, 1 to 4, or you could book 12 to 1 on Monday, 2 to 3 on Thursday, and 4 to 5 on Saturday. Whatever meets your needs. So we talked a little bit about what the arts organizations can gain from us, and we went back and talked about what the arts organizations can give to our platform as well, because we are an ecosystem. That idea of community is one that is very close to our hearts here at CommonTime. So, lastly, just as a last ditch effort to convince all of these arts organizations to join the CommonTime platform, as I told you, we put you in the classrooms of educators around the globe. You have the ability to impact thousands and thousands of children by hosting your live and pre recorded content here with CommonTime. Like I said, you do have the ability to ticket that. There are also abilities. You have the ability to post content for free if you so choose. But even for the ticketed options, if you live in rural Idaho, or if you live in northern Thailand, if you live in the mountains, if you live in Myanmar, if you are studying at a school in rural India, you don't have access to opera singers. You may not have access to some of the organizations. You may not have access to a professional cellist that's presenting a masterclass in Italy talking about Italian music, someone that actually lives in that orchestral culture that we talk about in the Western music tradition, coming into your classes and sharing that. There has always been a deep connection between arts organizations and the schools. I myself benefited from times where my school was able to go see the Columbus Symphony Orchestra or the Youth Orchestra of Greater Columbus, where they played things like the Young Person's Guide to the Symphony. They played Looney Tunes and movie music, things that were accessible that made me realize, okay, orchestras are cool. We recently were speaking on how one of the first musicals I saw was an off-Broadway Pokemon production. Now that may sound funny now, but back then, when I was able to understand the full context of it, that's when I was actually able to listen to the music, see the lighting, really take in what was going in without having to understand, oh my goodness, what's cats? That's when I really started to be able to make a connection with what I was seeing and start building that love. And if your arts organization is interested in getting in front of the eyes of students and teachers around the world, then look no further, because CommonTime is the platform for you. So, once again, just to reiterate, CommonTime member arts organizations have access to our entire roster of artists and our roster of educators, whether that's putting you in front of them or bringing them to come in front of you, especially in the times of COVID. Those trips to the symphony aren't happening. Those trips to the museum have become harder and harder to organize. Those trips to see ballet dancers, those opportunities to bring people into your schools at those assemblies and those events that you used to have. A lot of that is becoming more and more difficult, and a lot more students are losing access to that. We have a solution for that. Excuse me. And our solution is by democratizing access to the arts, by giving a virtual home to your live and your pre recorded content. One thing that I spoke on that I could go into more detail about is the option to ticket events. So the Domenico Savino Association, which we spoke about as one of our premier arts organizations, kind of our flagship arts organization to say, they used us to accompany their in-person offerings. So now, for example, here in the UAE where I am, venues are still operating at 30, 40, 50, 60%. And hosting your live content on your own website or even through some other conferencing platforms can be clunky, it can be difficult, it can require too many clicks for your audience, all of those things. But here with CommonTime, we're all inclusive. If you are hosting a live arts event, you can live stream that right here through our platform. You can schedule it right here. We will also promote the event. Of course, you would promote the event as well. You can also distribute this link to your season ticket holders. You can distribute this link to schools that you would like to attend. But for others who don't get that distribution from you, they can come to our website, easy peasy lemon squeezy, see your event, see the dates, see the times, and then they can also purchase the tickets right there, and then that money gets to you as fast as possible. Usually, we pay out fees to our artists and arts organizations within 7 business days, but often it's quicker. We're a small team, but as fast as we can click those buttons is as fast as you will receive the money that you earn through your engaging, awesome, creative, enlightening arts content that you are hosting on our site. Like we mentioned with Domenico Savino, that musical, that dance recital, that arts showcase, that artist talk, those concerts that you host live can also be posted again as pre-recorded content, giving people the option that couldn't maybe sit for the live stream to purchase those live videos, and we allow our users that purchase these videos to watch them on their own schedule at their leisure and anytime. To my knowledge, the content that they view from the pre-recorded side is not downloadable. It's viewable in their account. When they purchase it and it's in their cart, that is the only place they'll have access. Why do we do that? Once again, to protect your privacy. We don't want anyone downloading that copy of Aida and then maybe distributing it on YouTube, or God forbid, charging other people to look at it. We thought of that too, because during the time of COVID, our founder and CEO, Christine, realized that artists started giving their art away just because that was the only way to get people to attend a recital on one of those other video conferencing platforms. But now we've given you the tools to schedule, promote, invite, ticket, accept payment for your events in one place with a built-in audience of educators, individuals, and artists who are ready to digest all of that amazing content. So this webinar this week is going to be short. I just wanted to meet with you to show you the platform and go over some of the ways that CommonTime can be of service to our member arts organizations. And this actually reminds me. So our schools arts organizations, they definitely can be, but I had a really interesting conversation maybe a week or so ago with a middle school choir director out in the United States who was looking for somewhere to host her choir's videos. She was looking for a place where she could host a pre-recorded content, and she could also host the live stream content as well, somewhere that was a little more private than YouTube. I'm not sure if you can really control who's watching your live streams on YouTube, for example. But we spoke, and what we came up with is, for us, you can host that live stream session on our platform. You could charge what you would like or not charge if that's your cup of tea. But then you can also make all of your concerts available for digital purchase. And what would be a better way to fundraise than actual recordings of the concert? No more grandma holding up the phone while she's moving. I think, and I pitched to her, a great idea for a fundraiser would be to actually host your live stream concerts here so people can watch, but then maybe a week, 2 weeks, as fast as you can edit them, host them for purchase up here. All those parents, all those out-of-town family members, if they knew they could see little Jimmy play the clarinet for just $5, I know that they would appreciate that so much. And it makes it, I thought that actually would be an awesome fundraising opportunity to get parents in the community more interested in these performances and also give them a way to see some art while also supporting those students and supporting those teachers and supporting that local community. So once again, CommonTime's purpose is to serve educators, artists, individuals, and arts organizations. Today in our webinar, we were speaking more to our arts organizations about some of the ways that they could host their content digitally using our platform. Arts organizations we talked about can use us as an accompaniment to their in-person offerings. There is even another arts organization that focused on photography that talked about having some special virtual only events that they would post here. So they had kind of divided their offerings into two lanes where they were offering in-person sessions like this, but also offer opportunities for a broader audience to have a different type of experience through our platform. Please, educators, artists, individuals, arts organizations, connect with us. We're on Instagram at commontime.online. We're on Facebook at CommonTime Online. We're on LinkedIn at CommonTime Online. I can personally be reached at Michael at, you guessed it, commontime.online. We look forward to hearing your input. What more do we need to do to make arts organizations choose us as a home for their content? You've got an idea? Let me hear it. Once again, to give you a good salutation, I'm Michael Skiller, the Education Outreach Coordinator here, and it was my pleasure to speak with you all in attendance at what exactly arts organizations can do for us and what we can do for them. So with that, I'll tell you good evening, salutations, goodbye, so long, farewell. No, I won't start singing. They don't pay me to do that. But yeah, reach out to us and please log on to CommonTime, register as an educator or an individual, and check out that Toronto Opera Festival and the Domenico Savino Summer Music Festival on the Arts Organizations tab up at the top of the screen. Please check out our interview series, CommonTime One-on-One, that has different stakeholders from the arts world and the education world up at the blog post section right there on our top header. And if you're an arts organization or an educator, consider bringing in one of our verified CommonTime artists to give your stakeholders a new, different type of virtual experience with qualified artists from around the globe. Thank you all for joining this evening. I'm going to continue taking questions, but as for this webinar, I bid you adieu.